Hey YouTube, Monty53 here. Thought I'd come to you today I don't have a story for you. Nothing funny like that. Next week I will have a story for you, and it's a pretty good one too. I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be called The Wedding. And it involves a lot of the same characters from The Big and Nasty. It's actually the prequel story. Anyways, today I wanted to do something different. In my intro video, I mentioned that I was starting to get into antiquing on the pipe end of it. I, again, had been smoking a pipe now for about a year and a half, so I still consider myself a newbie because I'm constantly learning something new with pipe smoking. You know, Corvette Jim mentions, learn something new every day, and I try my best. Don't always succeed at that. And I do apologize right now if you hear a dog barking and a little girl upstairs screaming, because hey, spring's in the air, and I filled up some of the bird feeders, and the squirrels are coming around, and our dog is a Treeing Feist, and that's a squirrel hunting dog. And you know how dogs are, squirrel. Well, that dog is 10 times worse when it comes to squirrels. Luckily, I do like to hunt squirrels, so I did take him out last year, and he did pretty good. But he still has a lot of training and to do. And anyways, that's not what this video is about. But one of my interests in life is antiques, and my wife is a big collector of depression glass, Pyrex, and about 2 years ago, one of my other hobbies is collecting double-edged safety razors, brushes, bowls, stuff like that. And I might actually do a video on that one day, because there's some pretty cool things, and I definitely want to encourage people to get into what they call wet shaving, away from cartridge shaving, what Gillette and all them have you using now, and get back to the old style. There's new modern day razors. Blades are a lot better. It's just, all in all, it's better. And again, I apologize, but that's part of my antiquing, is I do like to collect old Gillettes and double-edged safety razors and stuff like that. But what am I smoking today? The pipe will come later. I am smoking The Haunting. This is Cornell and Diehl and Warp Cigars. Jeremy Reeves got together with, I'm going to try to find the gentleman's name here. He's a cigar maker, young guy. Kyle Jellies or Jealous or Jedis. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. The writing's really small, but I do know Jeremy Reeves and them back in around Halloween came up with this mix of it's Virginia and Dominican leaf, and it's really good, especially with me being an old cigar smoker. Well, currently still smoking cigars, but pipes are, to me, where it's at now. But I wanted to take this time to encourage those. I mean, I know, again, I'm a noob. Chances are most pipe collectors or pipe smokers, a lot of them love antique, going to an antique store, estate sale, eBay, buying pipes at a reasonable price, maybe even a steal, cleaning them up or getting them fixed or fixing them themselves as a hobby, and smoking them, bringing the life back into them. And even before I went back to pipe smoking, as I was kind of making the transition in the thought area, and I was going to antique stores looking for the double-edged safety razors and all that old stuff, I started finding some nice pipes. And I was like, you know what? I got that urge to get into pipes. And it was the summer of 2018, and I really made the transition in fall of 2018 to more full-time pipe versus cigars. And one of the first pipes I found right here. Let me show you that. This, if I'm not mistaken, is a Lee Works pipe by Lee, or no, excuse me, just pipe by Lee. And the stem was busted, and I was bummed, but the deal was only a few dollars, so I bought it anyways. And lo and behold, I was going to try to fix it myself. I happened to be listening to Pipes Magazine podcast, and they talked about Paul's Pipe Shop and Hospital. And I know I've mentioned it a million times, and you're probably sick of it, but up in Flint, Michigan. And I'm going to probably do a show strictly on that. And I would love to go up there and film it for you, because the pipe shop, Paul's Pipe Shop, started in 1929, and I believe it was Swartz Creek, Michigan. And then through the years moved to different locations, and at their current location, if I'm not mistaken, it's been there since the mid-1960s. And I want to say the decor is still the same. It's got that old retro look. It's awesome, with pipes on the walls, the cabinets. Oh my God, I love it. Well, Paul, his son Dan now owns it, and there's another grandson who's probably 50 some years old who is also working there. And I'm telling you, they've got the Paul Cayuga pipe that Dan makes, and I've got 13 of those, and they're oil cured. They're really good. But I took it to him on my first trip and just said, "Is there any way to fix this?" And he put on a new stem because it's got a stinger in it, and he said, I can make that work," and he did. I love this pipe. This is one of my first antique pipes out there that I found for a few bucks. I did have the pipe was called a stubby, and I also refer to them, some people refer to them, I think, as nose warmers, really short stem and pipe. And it was beautiful. It was my favorite, and unfortunately I wasn't being careful. I put it on our kitchen counter when I came in from outside, and my poor wife, she was devastated. She was doing something in the kitchen, and when she swung her arm, she knocked it, and it fell, smashed, and broke on the floor. But yeah, that one was one that I got pretty inexpensive, I think at the same antique store. But all these pipes, except a few, are antiques that I get from the antique stores. I don't do a lot of eBay shopping. I kind of like to enjoy the hunt at estates and at antique stores. But one of the things I wanted to show you were these stands too, with the glass. God, I love this beehive green over here. This old, probably Depression period glass. My wife would know exactly that glass. And then there's this one here. I've got a few more up. In the beginning, I showed a video of my pipes and stuff and my collection and my tobaccos. There are more stands up there as well. And then this one's got a beautiful hunting scene on it. And there's a couple antique stores I want to visit, because there's one antique store on the west side of the state near Holland, or not Holland, Michigan. Well, it is near Holland, but it's Grand Haven, Michigan. They have this gorgeous waterfowl scene with geese and all that on it, and it's not a clear glass. It's ceramic, the white glass, with a stand, and the price they're asking was very reasonable. But I'm going to tell you in a second about this pipe and why I held off on that jar and stand. But the whole idea of this was to encourage those who maybe aren't into going to antique stores, estate sales, or anything like that, to go out. Half the fun is the hunt. And you can find great pipes like these. I mean, most of these older pipes have stingers in them. I'm not a big stinger fan, but like this one here is a yellow, it's hard to read sometimes, yellow bowl. This is an Imperial. Just a small pipe. You know, you maybe get about a 20-minute, half-hour smoke out of that, but gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous pipes. Check out this K-Woody I got. This was less than $5, never been smoked. I was at an outdoor antique show. You know, I mean, it's just a K-Woody, but still a beautiful looking pipe. You know, a lot of these are small. You know, like I know a lot of people like bigger bowls and stuff, but sometimes it's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna smoke them. And be honest with you, some of them I might smoke an aromatic in, like the K Woody. You just got to be careful of the gurgling and stuff with that. But one thing that I found last time I was at an antique store before we were in lockdown. I was in. This was during that archery tournament my daughter was in, and she was really cool. And she said, "Dad, let's after the morning competition on Saturday, let's go antiquing, do some recon for you and Mom." And I thought, oh, that's awesome. Well, we went out, found this Savinelli for $10, and I didn't notice. Well, here I'll tell you what it is. You probably already know, but it's a Savinelli 315. It looks like, and this one is called the Estella. But over here, when I was smoking it, I noticed there's a mini crack right in there. And I think what I'm going to do is go, once we're allowed to go, you know, all the stores open up and everything's back to normal, I'm going to run up to Paul's Pipe Shop and see if he can fix that by putting maybe a band on it. He did that for another pipe that I had, and it came out beautiful. It actually looks really good. And I know Cane Rod does that, so if he can't, because he did that Bing back in November, December, I think it was. He did an episode, a two-parter, I believe. He actually fixed the whole stem. It was a lot more than that. But I know he put a band in. I think it was Mark from Rhode Island's Bing. I don't think it was his personal Bing. I think it was from Mark. I could be wrong. But he fixed that crack. So I just want to, I'm not going to mess with this pipe anymore. I want to get it fixed. It does smoke really good, but my fear is that that crack is just going to continue and I want to stop. But a $10 find in a Savinelli. Same trip. These are all Italian pipes. I'm gonna butcher it a bit. Capitello, Corinzio, smokes beautifully. I cleaned it up, reamed it, cleaned everything out. I believe it was $10. And I believe these pipes were made back in the 80s and 90s. But it's the company's no longer, I don't think, around. I could be wrong. But a great smoking pipe. And same trip, another Savinelli. I cleaned it all up, reamed the inside. This one here is a 611 KS, $10. So you can get some great pipes and clean them up for $5 to $10. And just collect some great things. I mean, my gosh, these jars, these stands, you can get them. Well, you got to be careful where you go. Some people try to take advantage of you. So know what you're buying, because most of these range from like $8, $10. I mean, this one was $8. I had been looking for that something similar, well, the actual jar and the lid and some type of stand for about a year. And one guy without the lid and the stand was in horrible shape wanted like $60. And I mean, I wasn't rude, but I kind of laughed it off and walked away. Like, you're not even close, bud. And then I was rewarded last summer finding that for $8. There is another jar that kind of has this shape, but it's a ruby red jar. It's gorgeous. I've seen it online. I mean, I could pay $80 for the stand and all that, but it takes away from the fun of hunting for this stuff. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of my pipes, if you don't mind. Kind of wanted to, these are not antiques right here, but these pipes are the first pipes I bought. This one, this corn cob, goes back, I would say, 25 years, maybe more, maybe 24 years. This is either the first pipe I got or the second pipe I bought. And I was in high school and people didn't card me then. A lot of Captain Black and the White Pack in that. This pipe, again, either the very first pipe I bought or the second pipe, and I believe it is just most of these are cheap Dr. Grabo's, you know, because you're going to grocery stores, liquor stores, or whatever, and buying them. But that pipe's seen me through a lot. Because again, I mentioned my dad has been smoking a pipe for like 58 years, so I grew up with pipes in the house and the wonderful smell of pipe tobacco, and even my friends loved it. You know, nobody ever complained about pipe tobacco scent. They loved it. But that is the other pipe. Those were my first two. This pipe, I do want to show you, and I'll be done here shortly. It's deer camp pipe, a Dr. Grabo. Can you see that beautiful deer etched in that? So this pipe always goes up to deer camp. Pretty roughed up, but that's cool because that's deer camp up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Sometimes I take macabres. I just don't take too many of my real nice pipes I like to smoke around the house because, you know, we have a tendency to leave the stuff out on my aunt and uncle's porch, and at night it can be 20, 30 degrees. So, you know, Dr. Grabo, I could care less, but, and I know that's probably sacrilegious, but still, I love that pipe. It's my good luck charm. Okay, to finish up, because I see we're at around 16 minutes, it's this pipe. This Savinelli. And this, there's a story behind this, but it's not a funny story. And I apologize for looking down. I just want to double check. This is a dry system. It's a 2642 Savinelli. Last summer, we were camping, my family and I were camping in Grand Haven. We go every year, and we do a lot of the antiquing. And this is why I want to really encourage people to try antiquing or estate sales. We were in Saugatuck, Michigan, at an antique store, and I had been there prior and found some things that were not smoke related. At that time, I wasn't looking at pipes, because it was a year earlier. I was not looking at pipes to smoke. I was just starting, you know, about a month or two later I started getting into it. But last year I was in an antique store, and I came around the corner, and in this glass case I saw this pipe. I couldn't believe it. And it was in great shape. Had been smoked, but didn't seem like much. There were 4 other pipes in there. One was a Savinelli Autograph 0, I'm going to call it the 0 grade. It's a single 0. Barely smoked. Beautiful shape. Another one was, a 2, I can't remember the name of it, but regardless, there was a Cristo or something. They're all Italian pipes. One of them was not smoked. One of them was smoked in great shape. The other pipe, the reason why I didn't buy it was they were asking for retail price. All 4 pipes. Now I did pay a lot compared to like $5 and $10, but like this pipe here and the other pipes, they were $50 a piece. But it was in great shape. So I paid $200 for all those pipes. The Autograph alone 0 used is like $350, $400. The other pipes, one of them that wasn't even smoked, is going for like $200. I spent $200 and I got what, like, because like this, some people want a heck of a lot more than $50. You know, they're talking 60. Well, yeah, 60. Like that's more than a heck of a lot. But I mean, no, they want more than that. I've seen some people ask for $100. I mean, it's only worth what people are willing to pay. But anyways, the other 3 pipes were okay. I smoked them once, and they just didn't smoke as good as this one. I ended up taking those to smokingpipes.com because when I had placed an order last August, my wife noticed in the box, and I had never paid attention to it, that they're looking for used pipes. I said, what the heck? I didn't want those 3. They were good smokers, but just not as good as this one. And I thought, well, geez, that's $150 I paid in pipes, those 3 at $50 a piece. Let's see if I can get a nice in-store credit. I got a really nice in-store credit. They would have paid cash, but I was like, I'll take the in-store credit because it was a heck of a lot more. So, I mean, I got a lot of tobacco. Heck, I even got my first 7L, what is it, the 673, the matches style pipe, the Friday 7L. I got one of those and a lot of tobacco. So I think I made out. I mean, if you go to antique stores, you might find, I mean, my God, if I could find this even cheaper, it would have been great. But you can go and just, you might hit the jackpot. And in the end, hey, even if you trade it into smoking pipes, they'll make them back into, I mean, they were almost mint condition. But, I mean, and when I saw them selling those pipes for on there, it's like, you know, they're worth it. But what they were asking versus what I paid, I think I got a steal. It's just that, you know, they weren't my style and they smoked okay. But this one here, the first one I saw, I mean, look at that. To me, that's a gorgeous pipe too. And I got a lot of tobacco. So that's my story today. I'm sorry I went over 20 minutes. My goal is, they seem to be getting longer, but I'm going to try to back off the time I'm using on these, on my stories and stuff. But I really, today, I'm passionate about antiquing and I really want to build up my collection and really work on them. I know, like Corvette Jim and all those guys, they're probably laughing at me going, oh, that's nothing. But that's, you know, and he was on, what was it, Cane Rod 2 nights ago talking about stuff like this, and it really fascinated me. So I think it's really, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole of trying to collect more pipes and maybe some extra jars and stands. I don't put the tobacco in them. I did that at first, but you know, my fear is that they'll dry out. Mason jars just do a much better job of keeping your tobacco fresh and stuff. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'm going to go outside and we're having our first, not barbecue, but I've got my smoker ready and we're going to do some pork loins because it is 50 some degrees and sunny. And I don't think I want to hang out in my workshop much longer. I want to be outside. So I hope everybody's healthy and safe. You have a wonderful week. I've got a great story for you next week. It will be silly, but I think you'll enjoy it. Have a great week, guys. Take care. Bye.